So we are back for producer Brett, DP Seth. I am Graham, and I heard you guys played golf this weekend.
We did.
And I heard Brett doesn't really know how to play golf.
No, Brett knows how to play golf.
That's not what you were saying a second ago.
That's not what I said. I would never, ever. Brett's my bro. I would not talk shit on his game. There's some guys whose game I will talk shit on. Brett's not one of them.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
That really does mean a lot.
And you're having a bad day, Brett.
Does it end with a Y? I'm just kidding. I'm having an okay day.
Why?
It's better now. So.
Why are you just okay?
I don't know. I think I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Speaking of you getting worked up, you got us all worked up on the Rick Harrison shoot day before when we were all traveling there. What happened?
Yeah, so there was some sensitivity around some of the topics leading into the shoot. His son had passed away in the last year or so, which we knew was going to be a sensitive topic. And we were also told ahead of time that, he didn't want to get political, wouldn't talk too much about Trump. And so the day before the shoot, you had wanted to make sure that I had talked with the publicist and had everything covered. And since I had done that, but like a month and a half before.
And you had told me we were good.
We were good to go.
Like, because we don't really have preconditions with anybody we profile for episodes. And so that's talked through when it comes up. It came up, it was talked through, you told me that. Fast forward a month and a half, here we are.
Yeah, I think I was just tired. We had multiple shoots in between that. So I think I just slipped my mind and I started questioning, are we good to go? And I let my weakness show to you a little too much. And you pounced.
What do you mean? I didn't.
Typical Bensinger.
You knew that I wasn't 100% sure, and you did the right thing and had me.
I knew you weren't 100% sure because you called me freaking out about it, and I then called Brad, who's in St. Louis. You're already in Vegas at the time. I have yet to fly there. I said to Brad, I think this is getting canceled for tomorrow. That I said to him, I'm like, that is what my gut tells me. Let's please figure this out before I go to the airport because we're already going to have to fly back all the crew that's there already.
Yeah, for the record, I never felt for a second it was going to get canceled, but I was dreading a potential phone call to the publicist, which I did, and turns out we had everything covered all along.
How do you think it went?
I thought it was fine. What? Do you want me to elaborate? No, I thought it was good. I think, look, man, Rick's probably the most knowledgeable person I've ever met. And I could tell from the day we did setup that I was really worried about everything running very long because we were, and this isn't a slight at Rick at all. I liked Rick a lot.
This is more a slight at me, if anybody, because I keep people talking for too long.
You have a tendency to, you'll never let somebody stop. You'll go until they're done. So I was between Rick's tendency to, want to educate everybody about everything in his house and in his pawn shop, and then Graham's willingness to sit there and let that happen. I was like, this shoot's never going to end. But you did a really good job at keeping everything on schedule. But yeah, we were there the day before trying to get... You did great.
Almost too great.
You've never heard myself complimented by you before.
I've complimented you before. And when I say you did great, I mean you did great at the schedule. I didn't mean anything.
And hey, had we known we were going to stick to the schedule, then we could have shot guns with them too.
Well, we actually ended up wrapping early.
Yeah.
But... yeah, we wanted to shoot guns with him. We thought it was going to happen at his house or near his house, and it turns out it was a half hour in the opposite direction from his house. So that would have given us an hour drive between shooting guns to the pawn shop.
To go out here in the dirt without a permit or anything.
Well, no, we got to drive 20 miles that way, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, so that's the thing is it's because the shop's really important for us, obviously, and we're flying out tomorrow. So in order to do the guns, it would have to be something that's pretty close to the house that we could kind of knock out pretty quickly.
It's a 25, 30-minute drive.
Is it the other direction?
Yeah.
So it'd be an hour to get back to the shop-ish?
Yep.
I don't think we'll be able to do it then.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, hindsight's 2020, and we've never really had a shoot that's finished on time or early.
Never.
And so, but had we known, I think you guys agree we would have ended up doing the
if we
shooting.
would have
Yeah.
known, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, 100% we would have done it.
Yeah, and just
I was so angry at myself at the end of that day. I think I was just angry at myself at the end of that day that I've ever been following a shoot.
well, I think what Seth said, we were so worried about it going long based on everything he just broke down that we almost overhyped it to you in a way. And you were so on top of the schedule that there was something allotted for an hour, and after like 10 minutes, you were just like,
Cool.
Hey, thanks for
Let's
doing
wrap on
this,
that.
Rick.
Yeah, we're like, oh, we're done. Yeah, we were in the bar. I thought we had the bar allotted for an hour, and we get in the bar, and it was like, yeah, this is that, and here's that. And I was like, cool, all right.
Yeah.
Wait, we're done? But yeah, I mean, he's got some cool and he really likes to tell you about it.
He has a healthy ego, that's for sure. However, I mean, you got to give the guy a lot of credit. He had this, I mean, little pawn shop back in the day. That because he believed in himself and believed in what they were doing, went out and hustled, found a production company that believed in them too to create a show, and got
them over, and then he got somebody else in.
Oh, well, no, that was...
Kids.
They kind of were the ones that got the ball rolling.
I mean...
In his
if-
defense, they didn't try to push it all to do anything.
Right,
other than
and if those kids had ever reached out, I'm sure he would have done so. He said they never reached out. But anyways, like, found a production company, got the show on the air, was one of History Channel's most successful shows ever, built up his pawn shop around that, and now all these extensions of their business. It's like, you know, he has a healthy ego. Everybody close to him says Rick likes talking about Rick.
Yeah.
But you gotta respect the hustle and the fact that he created all that out of nothing.
Yeah, and it's a genuine, and like he's genuinely interested. It's not like a money grab. Like he'd be working at that pawn shop if it was never on TV still.
And he seems like a super nice man.
I thought he was insanely nice. Like there was no, like I guess you weren't there when he got there, but we were doing setup and he walked in, just like sat down and started like hanging out. And it was really funny though, because I like walked over to introduce myself to him and try to figure out the things he was going to be most interested in showing us for the house tour. And I was like trying to figure out a schedule, and he just kept showing me stuff. And he's like, come check this out. Then all of a sudden, Carlos and Mario are following me with cameras, and then I'm doing a house tour with him instead of you. And I was just like, but yeah, he did the thing to me a million times where he'd be like, you know, say a name, and he'd look at me, and I'm like, he's like, you know who that is. I'm like, no, it's like some actor from the 40s.
Yeah,
Like,
so I
don't know who-
started, Brett caught me. I started saying, yeah, I know the beat, even though I had no idea who was talking, because
Sure.
I just got so self-conscious.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of, in that show, in this episode, there's a lot of, we've cut around it, but him saying something and then like waiting for a response from you. And you're just like,
Well, I felt really stupid
Well, but
talking to him.
in your defense,
really stupid,
all the
and
stuff he was
rightfully
talking
so. I mean, yeah, I guess I should have gone to college longer.
You're familiar with Abbey Road, right?
Sure, right.
Okay. See the album cover, I think it was 1969. Ian McMillan was the photographer. Medium format camera, you know, a little box camera, okay? On a stepladder. And London police would only close down Abbey Road for 10 minutes. So he got 6 photographs. Put all 6 photographs, all 6 negatives in front of Apple Records. They took 1 negative, 1 photograph. I got the other 5.
Everybody he brought up, or every topic, I would have had the same response as you of, yeah, maybe. No, I don't know. I didn't really know anything about what he was talking about. And I learned a lot there. And that's what makes him so interesting, is that he has so much knowledge. And I don't know. I don't think there's a lot out there either about his personal collection, which we kind of got to see with his books and just what his house looks like. So I thought that was awesome.
So, I mean, I collect books. This is my oldest book.
How old is this one?
This book, right? So there was a group of books called Inconnable. Inconnable means from the cradle. Books printed from, the printing press came out like 1452. So any book printed before 1500, in that 48-year time span, is called from the Inconnable. This is 1472.
well, I think there's probably you would think watching that show, right? It's reality TV, which a lot of times is faked. You would think, oh, somebody's bringing in some object okay, Rick's gonna then learn about it and then be on camera about it. But no, he just knows so much about everything. Like, he's in the right field. He could be like a professor on knickknacks.
Yeah, yeah. He was like something about he had the oldest stained glass ever
In America.
And so he was able to tell like certain parts of it were older because they didn't have that color red in that century or something. So
then with the picture on it, since it wasn't religious and it was scientific, made it from the 1600s instead of the 1300s. And he's like, because they stopped doing it in 1320, and you're like, oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Another one in the books.
Another one in the books.
For Brett and Seth, I am Graham. Goodbye.